What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports to help give you the edge for this NBA 5-game slate. Cannot wait to break it down. This exact video is sponsored by Jock Market, one of the newest ways to play daily fantasy sports today. Very similar to the exact stock market, you buy and sell players, and there's a ton of overlay over there right now, and one of the easiest ways to win. Sign up using the code DGF allows you to get a $20 deposit bonus. If you guys want to be entered into the $25 giveaway that we do every single Friday, please like, subscribe, and also comment your favorite GPP play for this slate. If you guys are brand new to this channel, we provide both free and paid content for all daily fantasy sports across all sports. If you could please show your support by hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course smashing that like button for all of our future NBA content. If you would like to know more about becoming a better DFS player and taking down that big GPP, head over to www.patreon.com/DGFantasy for more information. On Patreon, we give advanced cheat sheets for all DFS sports on Draftkings. These cheat sheets include updated projections, ownership, and our overall favorite plays from slate to slate. We take it a step further by teaching you how to play fantasy sports like a shark, by showing you where the best leverage spots are to put you in the best spots to take down tourneys. Also included is our private Discord chat where you get to talk over the slate with everyone, including our coaches, to help build your lineups. Now let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 5-game slate, but first we have to go over some Patreon success stories. A close GPP takedown here, $5 in the 27th, 12th place out of 713 people. We got another close takedown, a very small GPP, one of my favorite GPPs to target here, $180 in the 500, $40 in the 200, and I believe this was actually TJ's success from last night in NBA. $3 in the $60 here, NBA as well. Also, we had a close NHL takedown, so close to $1,000, $250 won on this contest, and then $10 in the 27, a very small GPP, only 3 people, which is something we heavily preach on Patreon. And then also some more takedowns, a lot of double up success here, $106 in the 212. Now let's switch over to the slate, guys. It is a 5-game slate, and we have a lot of pending injury news, so take this all with a grain of salt. We're going to go over what we know right now and move forward. I will be active on the live stream. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it onto the live stream last night. I did test positive for COVID yesterday, so I've been feeling a little on the downside, but have been feeling a little bit better here. So I hopefully will be on the live stream with TJ. One of us will be going live, if not both. So starting with Atlanta, we have Bogdanovich, Dunn, and Hunter all out for Utah. Or sorry, for Atlanta. That does give a boost to Trae Young and the rest of the guys on the team, so we will pay a visit to them. With Golden State, Wiseman and Looney, the 2 big guys, are out for Golden State, paying attention to them as well. With Portland, this is the huge pending injury news right now. Damian Lillard is questionable. If he is held out, that's going to definitely switch up things there in Portland. With Philly, nothing going on there. With Houston, we have Dante Exum out. With Memphis, we have the normal injuries, adding Grayson Allen, Josh Jackson, McDermott, Tilly, Valanciunas, and Winslow, so that does give a boost to a lot of the big men there. With Denver, we have Dozier, Harris, and Whittington all out for them. And then with the Lakers, we have nothing really going on there. So starting in the very first game with Utah, we also have ownership bright and early for you guys, so we get to pay attention to ownership and where the popular plays are. Mike Conley is showing the highest own at a 6.6K price tag, projected in 31 minutes. All these guys will be more GPP options just because their price tags are a little bit more aggressive. They are coming up on specific guys like Donovan Mitchell and also Rudy Gobert. 7.5K, 7.8K are definitely the most expensive that we've seen in a long time. However, they are in a pace-up spot. They're projected to score about 111 points, so definitely like them here for GPP options. Rudy Gobert, 7.5K price tag, has been not performing the best, but he has been in a couple blowout potential games, so I like him here for a GPP option. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. Just take advantage of the low ownership with those 2 superstars. Switching over to the other side, Trae Young gets a phenomenal boost in usage. If we look here, he has a 32.8% usage and a 1.55 fantasy point per minute output with these guys off the court. Looking down the list here, we have Trae Young getting a 0.4% usage boost and a 0.22 fantasy point per minute boost. So carrying the highest usage on the team. Going down the list here, we have Cam Reddish, who slightly benefits with a 0.8 fantasy point per minute. But Trae Young's going to be the guy I want to target here in this game at a 9.3K price tag. Did come down in price tag. Has been on an absolute tear the past, I don't know, 10 games or so. Just look at all this green up and down the list. So without these guys on the court, definitely like him, averaging 1.54 fantasy points per minute and 15.7% ownership is definitely going to fly under the radar. I even consider him cash viable. This game should be relatively competitive. Right now, Utah is an 8-point favorite. If they can keep it close, I absolutely love Trae Young. It's going to be because of Trae Young. And I also like Clint Capella here, averaging 47.04 fantasy points here in this matchup. 5.4 point per dollar value. Definitely like him to step it up here. If you sort in terms of actual value, John Collins also at 7.3 does catch the eye here. Projected in 35 minutes. So I do like Trae Young. I also like Clint Capella and John Collins in this matchup. For GPP only, Trae Young's going to be the only hybrid guy I can consider here, averaging 1.54 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court. Going down the list here, we know the two big guys are out for Golden State, so that does give a slight boost to Toscano Anderson. Projected right now at 29.4% ownership, a 6.5 point per dollar value. If we switch it over here, Toscano Anderson does average 0.84 fantasy points per minute. He doesn't carry high usage, but we don't expect that with bigger guys. The one thing I like about him is he's projected to play 27 minutes. That is a high minute output for specifically a guy you can grab for $3,500 here. So high owned, very good value play here from Toscano Anderson. Another guy I do like is Kelly Ubrey. If we go back to the chart here, he is, if I can find it, he is averaging 1.02 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court. Also the third highest usage guy on the entire team. So Kelly Ubrey, a nice 5.4K price tag, did come down, a buy low candidate here from Golden State. I am a fan of Kelly Ubrey specifically in this matchup against Dallas. Another guy you can pay attention to is Draymond Green. Coach Steve Kerr did come out and say he's going to be playing more minutes. Right now he's projected at 33 minutes. I think that's a bit conservative. We could easily see him playing 35 plus minutes. So a 5.2K price tag. I am a fan of Draymond Green. He's also the second highest owned guy here from this team. Steph Curry is always a GPP option, but my three favorite guys really, are going to be Toscano Anderson, Kelly Ubrey, and also Draymond Green from this team. Switching over to Dallas, these guys don't benefit from injuries. However, there are some low price tags here. Finney Smith, $3,900, projected right now to play 31 minutes. Anytime you can get a lot of minutes out of a guy below 4K, I always am a fan of that. So a great value play here from Finney Smith. Nothing special, only averaging like 0.7 fantasy points per minute on the season, but is carrying some ownership here, 21.4% ownership. Don't hate him here in this pace-up matchup. Doncic is going to be the guy everybody's going to be paying up for because this is a pace-up spot. This is the superstar from the other team in a pace-up spot. So because of that, Doncic is going to be carrying 28.1% ownership in bigger GPPs. Switching down to Portland, like I said, if Damian Lillard is held out, that's going to switch up the entirety of the entire slate. We have so many cheap guys. If Damian Lillard is ruled out, it's going to give a boost to guys like Rodney Hood, Gary Trent, Covington. I mean, you can pretty much say everybody because Damian Lillard carries the highest usage rate on this team. Right now, he's projected at 22.7% ownership if he does play. With McCollum, Nurkic, Little, and Collins out, he averages just over 1.37 fantasy points per minute in 36 minutes. This is going to be the other guy that people are going to want to be paying up for. It's going to be between Doncic or Lillard. I am a fan more so of Doncic just because of his upside, and Damian Lillard is in a slight average spot. They're only projected to score 110 points. So that being said, more of a fan of Doncic. Lillard more so for GPPs. If he is ruled out, we're going to be loading up on the Portland Trailblazers. In terms of value, the guy that pops the most is Covington, a 5.2K price tag, projected in 32 minutes. Don't hate him. Canner, projected right now for 32 minutes, a 5.3K price tag, or 5.3 point per dollar value. And then also Derrick Jones, if he is held out, that's going to shake up things even more so for guys like Carmelo Anthony, projected right now for 22 minutes. Going down the list here, we have Philly. Philly is not expected to be sitting anybody, so very straightforward. Normal price tag for these guys. Ben Simmons did come up in the price tag, 8.3K. Tobias Harris, 7.2K, and then Joel Embiid, a 10.2K price tag. All GPP options from here. Joel Embiid is coming off a very, very good performance here, projected or scoring 57.75 fantasy points in the last matchup. Does have another favorable matchup here versus Canner, so I do prefer him for GPPs. Between the last two games, these two do tie for the highest over-unders on the slate at a 227. Switching over to Houston. Houston does have John Wall back. Right now, he just passes the eye test, a 6.9K price tag, projected in 31 minutes in a pace-up matchup. He is expected to play. If he does sit, then yes, I'm going to be back on guys like Christian Wood, going to be back on guys like Oladipo. Oladipo went out and dropped a dud in the last matchup, but he is in a pace-up spot here versus Memphis. I do like them. They're projected to score 111 points, but if John Wall is playing, projected right now, the highest owned guy on the slate, he's the most obvious option. Going down the list here, we have Christian Wood at $8,800, 16.2%. I'm going to be all over him if John Wall does sit, but just a GPP option for me here in this matchup. And then going down the list here, we have Memphis. Right now, Memphis has all of these guys out, starting with Valanciunas, Jackson, Allen, Tilly, McDermott, and also Winslow. So if we go to the usage chart here, the highest usage guy on the team is going to be Dylan Brooks, averaging a 29.8% usage and a 1.02 fantasy point output on the season. Ja Morant, second in line here, 28.2% usage and a 1.27 fantasy point per minute. So I am a fan of Ja Morant here, projected in 32 minutes, a 7.6K price tag. He's slightly undervalued. This is a horrible defensive team in Houston, so you're going to be taking all these guys here for upside. Gorgui Dieng does pop in terms of value, a 5.9 point per dollar value, averaging 1.12 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court, a 22.3% use, or 22.3% ownership, so he's going to be definitely a cash option. Kyle Anderson actually does pop as well, a 5.1 point per dollar value and a 20.5 ownership right now. Brandon Clark, also not a bad option at 6K, a 15.4% ownership. And then, like I said, Ja Morant, definitely more of a GPP option, but I am a fan of him as well. Last but not least, Denver versus the Lakers. This should be a relatively competitive matchup here with Gary Harris off the court. This does give a slight boost in minutes to Monte Morris. Right now, he's projected at 16.5% ownership, a 6.2 point per dollar value. Then also Will Barton at 33 minutes, a 12.6% ownership and a 5.1 point per dollar value. These are the only guys I'm considering. I am a fan of Jokic tonight, 11K being the highest priced on the slate. Does have a bad matchup versus AD, but if this game is going to stay competitive, it's going to be because of Jokic, and I do like him at very low ownership for a good GPP option. Last but not least, the Lakers. LeBron James carrying the highest ownership on the slate, or highest ownership on the team. My 5.6 point per dollar value, really not a fan of any one of these guys. This is going to be a slight pace down spot for the LA Lakers. They're only projected to score 112 points. That being said, we're going to recap every single person that I said here for cash. It's going to be John Wall, Toscano Anderson, Draymond Green, and Dieng as my favorite cash options as of right now. Of course, we still have a lot of pending injury news, so show up to the live stream a little bit later in the day to get your updated injury reports and our favorite plays on the slate. That will end my breakdown, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.